Last Thursday, Lexus shocked the Land Cruiser community with two huge announcements. For the 2025 LX, they're releasing a hybrid version called the LX 700H, and more importantly, an off-road oriented trim called the Overtrail. With this semi-surprising move, Lexus is aiming to satisfy buyers at both ends of their spectrum. Lexus LX owners are currently split up into two camps. Those who want a big SUV to drive around town and choose the safe bet in buying a Lexus. And those who love the Toyota Land Cruiser and view the LX as her fraternal twin. Pretty close to the real thing. To fully appreciate the 2025 announcement, we have to look back 30 years to the beginning of the LX model. Starting in 1996, Lexus launched the LX 450, and since then, the objective of the LX has been to take the underlying Land Cruiser and refine it a bit. Restyle the exterior and interior to look more upscale and feel more luxurious. But really, the focus was to hone in on the mall cruising type. This is the kind of person that likes to know that their car could go anywhere, but in reality, they're going to spend 95% of their time on asphalt roads. And this is exactly who the LX 700H was created for. This will be the first ever LX hybrid. When comparing a hybrid model to its underlying internal combustion engine base, the two most important data points to compare are the power output and the fuel economy. With the addition of a hybrid system, that brings up the horsepower by 48 up to 457, along with 583 foot-pounds of torque. That's 104 more foot-pounds of torque than the underlying LX 600. That's a pretty sizable increase. You would think that this would help out with the towing, but due to the increased weight of the battery, it actually stays the same at 8,000 pounds between the LX 600 and the 700H.
With no increased towing, we must see a pretty good bump in fuel economy, right? No. The LX 700H manages to only get 1 additional mile per gallon over the LX 600, bringing the combined total to 20. For reference, with the Highlander, the hybrid gets an additional 11 miles per gallon over the base. The non-existent increase in fuel economy highlights that this was created to 1. Have a more powerful version of the LX, and 2. Help Lexus with the electrification efforts of their model range, so that people can feel better about themselves, I guess.
Beyond this, the LX 700H gets a new sleek shifter and a wireless charger in the center console, along with chassis bracing to help support the big old waterproof battery. If you're like me, upon hearing news of a hybrid LX, your first thought was, oh man, in 20 years from now when this thing has 300,000 miles, it's going to be a nightmare to work on this battery. But surprisingly, Lexus had good news in store for us.
The LX 700H is Lexus's first hybrid to feature an alternator and a starter. This means that the engine can function normally even if the battery system fails.
So when we're buying these down the line with 250,000 miles, potentially the hybrid battery could be removed and this car could go on to see another day, all without having to spend $20,000 on a new battery. The real excitement of the day came with the announcement of the LX Overtrail grade, which is a pretty good indication that Toyota is actually listening when all of us are complaining and begging in the forums. While Toyota decided to not give us the 300 Series Land Cruiser, they have continued to develop the LX in a way that's appealing to the enthusiast base. With the launch of the Overtrail grade, Lexus have equipped the LX with chunky off-road tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels, a front skid plate, and front and rear locking differentials. How crazy is that?
The LX 450 was available with 3 locking differentials. Ever since then, in the US, the LX has been available only with the center differential being lockable.
With how capable the base LX is from the factory, will you realistically ever need this hardware? No. But looking out into your garage and seeing a factory triple locked LX, that'll put a smile on your face every day. who needs a G-Class? Previously, the LX had been available with both conventional suspension and a hydraulic unit, called AHC. For any big off-roading enthusiast, they preferred the conventional suspension because it could be more easily replaced with upgraded components versus the more complicated hydraulic system.
The 2025 LX has dropped the option of the conventional suspension, which is sure to upset people. Many off-roading enthusiasts speak wonders of AVS and AHC, so ultimately it's up to personal preference how many tears you shed over this loss.
It may surprise you, but the new for 2025 Overtrail trim actually isn't anything new at all. In reality, it's existed since 2021.
In Japan, Lexus offers an LX 600 off-road, which might sound familiar. It features triple locking differentials, 18-inch wheels with off-roading tires, and dark-colored trim. Even in the US, the 18-inch rims were already optional equipment, and there was an appearance package that similarly blacked out the trim. But it is cool to see the new earth exterior paint from the GX, and the new interior. Makes it feel more adventurous, and that is 90% of the battle.
Basically, Lexus is offering another trim that was available in another market. But you should never look a gift horse in the mouth. So thank you for this, Lexus. Because of this, I'll forgive you for that.
To round out our updates for 2025, Lexus also introduced new driver and passenger seats that finally introduced massaging functionality, a new digital gauge cluster, some driver aids, and random bracing. Like a lot of random bracing. To the instrument cluster, the radiator support, and to the frame. They also updated the body mounts and some of the components in the now standard AHC. This was all with the aim of improving ride quality.
In conclusion, I'm very happy to see that Lexus is directing so much of their energy towards the reliability and off-roading capability of the LX. Even with the launch of the LX 700H, all of the verbiage is looking at it through the lens of dependability and sharing the ethos of the Toyota Land Cruiser. Despite the increase in power, I don't think I would get the LX 700H. The increase of complexity that comes with it, and most likely cost, really is not worth it over the base LX 600. Not to mention, there's no increase in fuel economy. There's only one problem. Lexus is only offering the Overtrail trim on the LX 700H. So, I guess they made the hybrid versus not hybrid decision for us. I would just enjoy my additional mile per gallon for the next 30 or so years. And then once that battery system fails, I'd pull it and use that weight savings to install a sleeping platform. Yeah, exciting times whenever there's new Land Cruiser news in the world. Hopefully, keeps on coming. I hope you enjoyed our one-sided discussion on the 2025 LX. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts and what you'd like to see Lexus do next with the model. If you enjoyed the video as well, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And to see more content, click one of the videos shown on screen now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.